Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, the last chapter, entitled as Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation. So in the initial part of this chapter, Krishna talks about what real renunciation or Vairagya is. Yes, to become attached to the Supreme Lord, we have to have some degree of renunciation or reasonable amount of detachment from anything which is material. But people have a very shallow understanding of what it truly means. Renunciation doesn't just mean giving up everything, and that's not even required. So what is true renunciation? Let us hear from the highest supreme authority, Krishna himself. As usual, this chapter also begins with a question by Arjuna. Text 1. Arjuna Uvacha Sanyasyasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichhami Veditum Tyagasya cha Rishikesha Prithak Keshi Nishudana. Translation. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life. O killer of the Keshi demon, master of the senses. So again Krishna has been addressed with two names here, killer of the Keshi demon and Rishikesha, the master of the senses. What does it mean? What does Arjuna imply? By calling him Keshi Nishudana, the killer of the Keshi demon, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, dear Krishna, this demon of doubt, because Keshi was a demon, so this demon of doubt that has arisen in my mind, please kill it, because you're very expert at killing demons. And secondly, you are the master of the senses, so let my senses be properly guided, properly engaged, properly controlled by you. You are the master of the senses. I should not commit any wrong act. So therefore I am seeking guidance from you. This is intelligence. To understand that we don't know everything and we need superior guidance. The guidance coming from Guru and Krishna. So here Arjuna is asking, what is the purpose of renunciation? Log Vairagya karte hain. Renunciation ke liye we are asked to do, renounce. So what is the purpose and what is the goal of the renounced order of life? Text 2, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahus tyagam vichakshana. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life. So this is called sannyasa, or the renounced order of life. That means, that's why the people in the renounced order of life or sannyas, they wear saffron clothes, orange clothes. Orange signifies fire. So when they wear orange clothes, it signifies that they are entering fire and burning all their material desires, all their material attachments to ashes. And that, because that is the power of fire, burned to ashes. So what is being burned to ashes? Our material attachments, material desires. And also orange or fire is a symbol of purity. So now my whole dedication after wearing this saffron robe will be to purify my senses, purify my existence, my thoughts, words and actions. I'll be working for the purification of my entire existence now. That is the sole purpose of my life. That's what saffron robe indicates. And it is a difficult task. That's why even today, people in the renounced order of life, they are respected by people from all walks of life. So Krishna says giving up all activities based on material desires is called the renounced order of life, sannyas. And what is renunciation then? It is the renounced order of life, sannyas. And what is renunciation? Renunciation and the renounced order, they're two different things. Renunciation means you need not necessarily be in saffron robes or given up your home, your family. What is that then? Renunciation, true renunciation, Krishna says, and giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation or tyaga. Vairagya doesn't mean you give up the activities that you're doing, but giving up attachment to the results that come your way after you perform your duties. You're not attached, you're not affected. That doesn't mean you don't expect results. That means you are not, results in the sense they are not expected in a particular way for our own sense gratification. You're just doing that as a duty. So we are not affected by whatever good or bad we attain after performing our duty. That is called tyaga. He's totally detached, as sometimes we say. He's not affected. That is called renunciation. And somebody who truly gives up his material occupations, material desires, material activities, he is called a sannyasi, which is forbidden in Kali Yuga, sannyas, because the environment is not conducive. Now Krishna further emphasizes on tyaga and how sannyasa is not practical in Kali Yuga. Text 3, he says, Tyajyam dosha vaditi eke karma prahur manishinah yagya dana tapah karma na tyajyam iti chapare. So some people have a very superficial understanding of renunciation. They give up even their prescribed duties also, and they run away from responsibilities. So Krishna says, some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity and penance should never be abandoned. So who is right? Krishna says, now hear my judgment. He is the supreme authority, so therefore he can say this. Nischayam shrunume tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha samprakirtitah. O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation, O tiger among men. Renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Again, the concept of three modes comes into picture, because this chapter itself is known as the conclusion of the perfection of renunciation, and something which Krishna has been emphasizing right from the beginning, that renunciation, or you don't need to give up what you're doing, simply you have to give up the enjoying mentality that it's me, it's I, it's mine. That I, me and mine is the biggest impediment between us and God. Selfishness, that has to be given up. That has to be given up. Not the duties that you perform. Wherever you are, you remain situated in that position, and from there you try to connect with God with whatever you have. So real renunciation does not mean giving up things of this world, considering them to be Maya. Real renunciation means utilizing whatever we have in the service of God. That is called real renunciation. And therefore Krishna says, according to three modes, renunciation is also is of three kinds, according to scriptures. So text 5, Yagyah dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up, they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. So people have this misconception that when you take to sannyas or you become a sadhu, then you don't have to do anything. No, the acts of sacrifice, charity and penance continue even in the renounced order of life. They also have to perform tapasya, they also have to give charity, but the charity is of different kind. Knowledge, the charity of the holy name, that kind of charity. Sacrifice of the chanting of the Lord's holy names. And penance is wake up early, we control our senses, control our mind, we don't allow our senses to indulge in everything that they want. So acts of sacrifice, charity and penance even continue in the renounced order of life as well. Even the sadhus have to do. Apitu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavya niti me partha nischitam matam uttamam. All these activities should be performed without attachment or expectation of any result. They should be done, but they should be done without any expectation. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. That is my final opinion. So we are not doing it like we are hearing these podcasts. This is a type of sacrifice. A yajna being performed where we are sacrificing our hearing, we are sacrificing our time to hear about something higher, which is the duty of human life. So this is also a duty. This should be done as a matter of duty, not that what is there in for me in this. No, we are doing it as a matter of duty for the pleasure of the Lord, because we are his parts and parcels. So we must take some time out to hear about him, must dedicate some of our energy in his service. And service begins with hearing and chanting. Krishna says, therefore, perform these acts without any expectation of result. Even if you don't get anything from these, you should be happy. That is the kind of consciousness expected from us. At least we should be happy that we were allowed to give some valuable time, 20 minutes a day, to hear about the Supreme Lord, our source, our real Father, and we should be grateful for that. Not that what is in it for me. That is the kind of consciousness Krishna says is the highest kind of renunciation. Text 7. Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagas tamasah parikirtitah. Now, what are the three kinds of renunciation? Krishna explains. Prescribed duties should never be given up. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Somebody thinks, yes, sab maya hai, this is all maya, illusion. He gives up everything, even his duties. He runs away. That is called renunciation in the mode of ignorance, lowest kind. Text 8. Dukkham iti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Some people give up their prescribed duties considering them to be difficult, troublesome, out of fear. It's not very convenient. So that is renunciation in the mode of passion. Now, what is renunciation in the mode of goodness? Text 9. Karyamiti eva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyakta phalam chaiva satyagah satviko mataha. O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. He just does it as a seva, as his duty. He is not attached to the fruit. This is the kind of renunciation in the mode of goodness, the highest kind among the three gunas. Now he just in the next few verses talks about the symptoms of somebody who is truly renounced. Text 10. Nadveshti akushalam karma kushale nanusajjate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshayah. The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. He is not attached whether this work is going to produce some good result, bad result. I mean, he is very conscious about his duty. So that's the same thing. Not that he does whatever comes to him, even if it's bad, he's not concerned. No, that is not the meaning here. It means whatever result then comes after performing his prescribed duty to the best of his capacity, he's not affected, he's not attached to that. He does his duty. He's not hateful of the wrong result. He's not overly attached to the right result that he was expecting. So he's equiposed. So Krishna again emphasizes that therefore this giving up the activities, giving up prescribed duties is not at all recommended, which he has mentioned in text number in chapter 3 and 5 also. He says, Nahi deha brita shakyam tyaktum karmani asheshatah yastu karma phalatyagi satyagiti abhidhiyate. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. That's it. Again he gives his verdict. Somebody who has given up attachment to the results. Whatever results come after doing his best, he accepts and continues to move on, continues to perform his duty. He doesn't remain stuck. Oh, I didn't get this. Oh, I got this much. So even when we are overly elated or overly depressed, we give up our duties. But a person who is truly renounced, who is unattached to the results, he is not affected. He continues to perform his duty nicely with the same dedication, same zeal. Because there is always better in store. So he continues. He is not affected by the dualities. Text 12. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmanah phalam bhavati atyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. Every time we think, when we get a particular type of result, oh, I wish I had this much more, I wish it was like this, we are actually sowing a seed for future distress, future birth, future body, future life. And also, every time we perform action like this, with this kind of mentality, it is going to give us some reaction in future. But when the action is performed without expectation of a result, doing our best and not getting affected by whatever good or bad result comes, and not remaining stuck there and continuing to perform a prescribed duty, that's when we become free from the bondage of karma, and there is no reaction. Otherwise, every time we desire something in particular, there is going to be a reaction and we get bound. So true renunciation, which is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita, is not the renunciation of activities, but the renunciation of the results, that mentality of being attached or affected by the results. So these are the few points Krishna discusses in the first few verses of this chapter, text number 1 to 12. What is true renunciation? And we must keep it in mind. It's not giving up the activities, but utilizing whatever we have to connect with Krishna, to serve him. Our money, our home, our resources, our family, engaging them in the Lord's service. That is true renunciation. And that's difficult than giving up. But that's what we are expected to do. That's what it means, Tera Tujhko Arpan. That is true renunciation. That is the goal of renunciation. To ultimately moving from I, me and mine to him. To serve him. Because that's where we belong. That is the highest perfection of renunciation. Thank you so much.